It was not your typical wake-up call at the Overlander's house.
I heard a very loud explosion. I sat up out, it woke me up immediately.
But it was certainly alarming.
And then I looked more and I saw the flames like above the trees in my driveway, so I thought it was really close to my house.
Just a few feet from the Overlander's home, the SK Wood Pallet Company went up in flames around 4:30 Tuesday morning, fortunately with no one inside.
We arrived with heavy fire through the roof.
Tankers and crews from 4 different counties assisted on the scene.
And with all the pallets inside and all the debris, the roof collapsed.
The problem for crews was water, namely not enough pressure.
If you could see the hose here, you could step on it. It ain't hard. And we should have adequate water.
Something the chief says Marietta Borough has been dealing with for years. Before kids can play,
We want to build a playground!
the grown-ups have to get to work.
We're gonna get a lot done today.
After 3 years of planning and raising more than $230,000, volunteers are bringing Kids Joyland to life.
I think they're gonna like it. There's something for every age of kid.
2 pros are here from the playground company, overseeing hundreds of volunteers, but they need as many hands as they can get.
Just stop out, go to the registration table, and we're gonna put you to work. Be part of the build, feel like you did something.
Digging, cutting, and drilling to a weekend deadline.
Sunday, 5:30 will be grand opening, so bring your kids out. They can cut the ribbon and go play.
But the boards and mulch will be more than just a playground. They're pulling together an entire community.
That's the rewarding part. I've never gone home and talked about the structure that I built. I've talked about the people I met.
And if nothing else motivates you to volunteer,
We will feed you.
in Mount Joy, Mike Straub, News 8. In a world spinning on green energy, this farm is, well, brown.
All the fresh manure from our milking cow barns travels underground into the methane digester.
Yes, he said manure. Every time one of the 900 dairy cows on Brubaker's farm in Mount Joy does its business, it's collected in an anaerobic digester where microscopic bacteria work to separate gas from cow waste.
The methane gas travels underground to this building behind me. Inside the building there is an engine running a generator. The engine's running on 100% methane, and so we're converting that methane gas into electricity.
The cows produce enough power for the entire farm, and what's left over is put out on the grid. Then the power distributors buy back the leftover power, turning cow pies into cash. But that's where the state steps in.
The utility doesn't pay that price. The consumers pay that price.
Here's where it gets messy. Power suppliers buy power from power plants at 3 cents per kilowatt hour, then charge us about 9 cents an hour to deliver it to our homes. But private producers, like those with solar panels or digesters, must get paid for their power at 9 cents per hour because they are customers first and not wholesale suppliers. So if they produce a lot of energy, the PUC says it could raise the rates at your house.
At the end of the day, alternative energy is encouraged, but it's not encouraged to the point that it's a detriment to the rest of the ratepayers in the system.
The PUC is studying potential limits to how much individual customers can produce, but farms and current producers would be exempt.
Our concern is not only the reliability and the safety of the grid to make sure that the lights are on when people flick their switches, but also that rates are fair and reasonable for consumers.
Back on the farm, Brubaker thinks his prized mowers should always be able to produce all the power they can.
We like to joke that our neighbors' light bulbs are glowing green from all that green electricity.
I'll give you another benefit for those neighbors. When that manure is spread out as fertilizer without all that methane, it doesn't smell quite so crappy. It also isn't as hard on the ecosystem. It means cleaner rivers and a cleaner Chesapeake Bay.
So it's a really neat thing when you have an economic win tied together, partnered with environmental win.
A debate only starting to gain steam, and only time will tell just what will happen with all that cow gas. In Lancaster County, Mike Straub, News 8.